all the time.
You're a baby!
They may be wives.
It's not your money. We're a couple.
I earned it, so get this through your head!
But are they equal partners?
I feel like he's my dad.
You give her an allowance?
She's not doing a job that brings home money. Sorry.
You took her computer and cell phone away? Isn't that what you do with a teenager?
Yeah. You want to teach kids responsibility, don't you? I am so done.
Really? Stop. Stop yelling at me.
You're a baby.
Chris, I'm leaving you. I'm done.
Stop it!
Don't scream at her like that.
I'll scream at her if I want.
Awesome.
I promise you, I'm gonna take everything I can away from you. I don't care if I gotta quit my job so you suffer. I don't care if I go to jail. It would all
And you know
stop
what?
if you could control your mouth. But you can't.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That was you guys, right? Is this how you guys conduct yourselves on a daily basis?
Yes, it is.
I wouldn't say on a everyday. Not every day. I mean, it always seems to happen when just a disagreement just always escalates.
It's every day.
And who was this screaming and crying in the background that I was hearing?
Our 2-year-old baby girl.
Really? You're doing this in front of the kids?
Yeah, we fight all the time in front of the kids.
So the divorce papers are filed, right?
Yes.
Who filed them?
I did.
You filed them. Okay. Well, let's get the whole story on the table, and then let's just get to work and figure out what we're going to do. Take a look at this, and then we'll talk.
The biggest problem in my marriage is Chris and I fight every day.
She makes it out like I'm a monster.
That's awesome.
Suffer.
That's
You're gonna
awesome.
suffer more than you ever suffered in your life.
Sometimes Chris makes me so angry that I want to go into the kitchen and get a butcher knife and cut his tongue out so I don't have to hear him talk to me anymore.
You don't give enough to stop treating
Chris,
people like
stop speaking to me that way.
I refuse to be talked to like a dog.
We're like pit bulls in a dog fight going for the jugular.
You think you don't love me because
Awesome.
She's a master manipulator. When she's angry or wants something her way, she does whatever she needs to get it. You tell me all the you went through with all your boyfriends.
My husband constantly accuses me of cheating on him. I absolutely am not cheating on my husband. Control is a very big issue in our relationship. You can't control me anymore.
I'm not controlling you.
Chris. He's always checking on where I'm going, looking at phone records, who I'm calling.
She's done some horrific to me. She's kicked me in my private. She's slapped me in the face. She's broken my glasses. She took a tape measure, like a 12-foot tape measure, and launched it at my head. And she did all this in front of our kids.
There is a lot of cursing that is exchanged between us in front of our children.
Oh, you're gonna lose. Support you and prop you up, you crazy, ungrateful human being.
I absolutely am fearful for my kids to grow up and repeat the behavior that we are setting an example of.
My role in that family, they've made it very clear to me that I'm nothing more than a checkbook. She tells me she wants me to die in a car crash. I really think that if I died, she'd have a party.
Right now, I am 1 foot out the door. I feel like I either have to protect my children or fix this relationship.
Okay. But you'll just watch this, and I always like to ask people, you just kind of watch a little synopsis of your life. What's your reaction to that?
I'm embarrassed to even say that that's my life. It looks horrible.
What the hell is going on?
I can't get in control of anything. I don't know why we fight the way we do. Small things escalate
I
to
don't
big
accept
things.
that. What is going on here? Come on.
I think it's just complete lack of compromise. And
Well, what gets you so upset? What is it about her that gets you so upset that you say the things that you say? You're calling your wife a bitch. You throw your wedding ring at her. You've smashed the phone. You rate your marriage a 1 out of 10. You, according to her, you say she's stupid, she's unaccomplished, never worked an honest day in her life. She keeps a journal of things you say. You said that the children are bad because of you, You do nothing but sit back and watch this marriage fail. You have no friends. Your family hates you. You've never tried. You're immature. You're not a good mother. You're mean to everybody who loves you. She said, do you tell her all these things?
I'm sure I've said that. I don't write it down like she does, and I don't record one-sided videos like she does, but I'm sure I could bring up the same kind of stuff.
No, I'll get to her in a minute. I'm talking to you, right?
No,
You want me to start with her?
I've said that.
If you want to deflect, I'll talk to her first.
I'm not going to deflect. I accept everything I've said. I know it's not right. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do. I don't want to leave my family. You hit a point where you just lose control. And yeah, I've verbally said things that I don't, I feel really bad about.
Did you call your wife and kids materialistic leeches?
Yes.
Did you get in her face and say your mother left you at age 7? No wonder nobody likes you and everyone leaves you?
Quite possibly. I don't remember verbatim, but I've said things like that, yes. I don't appreciate being treated like a dog, talked to like a dog, constantly disrespected. And I guess I bubble over. And then I definitely don't feel good afterwards. I mean, I forget all the stuff she says. She's like, she has a memory like an elephant and writes it all down and just throws it all back in my face. And
because it makes me feel I can't forget the things that you say.
You don't think the stuff you say to me bothers me or hurts me?
And I always ask you, what do I say to you that hurts you? What is your example of talking like a dog?
Listen, see, this is one of your problems. I'm talking to you about you right now, and you say, I don't want to deflect, but you keep talking about what she says to you. Trust me, I will get to her in a minute. If it will make you feel better, I will tear her ass up in just a minute. No. But right now, I'm talking to you about what you say to her. Do you tell her stepson he's worthless?
I've never said that.
Have you said to her that, do you blame the stepson for ruining y'all's lives?
I've said that before.
Really? You say this to a child?
No, just because, it's the disrespect.
And what is your goal when you say that?
I'm on autopilot. I don't think there is a goal. I think maybe I feel hurt, so I'm trying to cut her just as deep as she cuts me.
Do you want a divorce?
No.
But you filed for one?
I really filed for one because I tried everything I can, and I asked her, and she insisted I do it. I didn't want to do it.
Why did you marry her?
I love her. I love her. I love our family.
Why did you marry her?
We had a short courtship, and she ended up getting pregnant, and I kind of felt that was the right thing to do. But I did care about her, and I still do care about her.
Why did you marry her? Did you marry her because she got pregnant?
I don't know necessarily if I would have proposed to marry her if we weren't having a child at the time. I think I would have probably let the courtship marinate a little longer, and odds are we would have probably not stayed together because we'd have had so much conflicting views on things. It might not have happened.
Wow. We got to take a break. Chris says that Heather keeps a private journal of everything mean he says to her because she loves to relive it and feel bad for herself. So we'll take a look at some of those pages next, and then I'm curious about what her goal is when she says some of the things that she says to him. I'll ask her when we come back. Coming up, do you hit him and slap him?
I have.
Did you say you wanted to cut his tongue out with a knife?
My husband constantly is telling me that me and my kids are nothing but materialistic leeches.
Yeah, she has specifically, in front of me, told the older kids they don't have to listen to me.
You don't teach him lessons.
So when he lies to you and you call him a liar, he's not a liar, right? Don't ever call him a liar when he's lying.
Chris, you don't have that right. My husband controls the money. I have no access to our bank account.
I pay for all their luxury items. I deserve no respect. And she's made it very clear.
So you're telling me in exchange for your money, you're allowed to mentally abuse?
You use me financially, but you want us to be a family, but you don't want me to have any say over your children.
Yeah, you're right, because you can't control yourself. And here is the proof, right here. Smashed the phone.
Well, that was Heather, who videotaped several arguments with her husband, Chris, in an effort to prove his alleged mental abuse against her. It is helpful to see what's going on. I'm always a little leery when one person knows the tape's rolling and the other doesn't. Somehow the person that knows it's rolling always seems to come out a little better. She says he calls her a bitch and throws his wedding ring at her. Now, Chris says his wife has a history of abusing him by hitting and slapping, threatening him with a brick, telling him she hopes he dies in a car crash, calling him a loser, and other choice expletives. So, Chris recently filed for divorce, and the papers are right here. Will he change his mind about this, or should he even change his mind about this, or should he go right along with it? Now, it's interesting to me, y'all been married how long?
6 years, March 23rd.
Yeah, well, this is your journal, which you allowed us to look at.
Yes.
Thank you. 6 years ago, you wrote, may I read this?
Yes, you may.
I'm getting a divorce. Again, not sure whether to believe Chris, but I hate my life. I sleep to escape my non-loving relationship. Chris has turned out to be an abusive, resentful, nasty, non-social asshole. I miss my life with people who like me. It's not that I miss drinking and partying, but I want to feel liked and appreciated again. I really want this to be over. I'm afraid to be on my own again. I always struggle. I will try to get a job. I'm not sure how I'll be without my son every day. I don't need Chris to support me. I want to go back in time and make the right decisions, but there are no redos. I feel as if there's no point in trying to be a better me with Chris around. He brings me down. I'm his verbal punching bag. You wrote these 6 years ago. You could have written these yesterday.
I recently got that journal out because I haven't written it in a while, and I ran across it as I was unpacking things, and reading that, it just brought me to tears because I realized that so long ago it was still my life right now, except 6 more years of damage to my kids.
What do you know the fact that she wrote these things to herself, not to you or anybody else, but just privately to herself 6 years ago?
I'm sure, obviously, everything I've said to her has cut her pretty deep, and she's held on to it. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not that type of person. I don't dwell on everything. And I mean, it's like it's never can get fixed because every little thing I've ever said to her just builds up to a bigger,
But you don't stop saying those things.
Well, you don't stop doing a lot of things yourself. You're not innocent here.
I didn't say I was innocent. Absolutely did not say I'm innocent.
Your constant badgering of me, constant complaining about everything, then the insults, and then you wonder why I threw that wedding ring the other day. You really do.
Do you hit him and slap him?
I have.
Did you hit him with a brick?
Yeah, I hit him right in the arm
while
with the
he
brick.
was holding the baby?
Yes, I did.
Did you say you wanted to cut his tongue out with a knife?
He makes me so mad. Sometimes he gets on these
That's not
rages.
an essay question.
No, I do. I have said that. Yeah, I have.
You've called him a loser, an f***ing idiot. You cut his shoelaces so he couldn't tie his shoes.
She cut my entire shoes.
I did.
It's just my laces. I mean, it looked like Freddy Krueger went at my feet. And I had to wear them to work because I didn't have another pair. So at lunchtime, I could buy another pair.
You took his wet clothes out of the washer and put them in the freezer to...
Yeah, because he kept complaining I didn't
And
do
she
his
covered
laundry.
him with bleach, too.
I
And she
did
said
not.
oh, yes, you did.
Then you filed a restraining order against him just recently.
Yeah, I got a
Protective
protective
order.
order.
Yeah, protective order, restraining order, and then you lifted it to come here, right?
Yes.
What do y'all think when the children beg you, crying, to stop fighting?
I feel horrible. I feel like the worst mom. I feel like I'm not giving them the childhood they deserve.
What do you think's going through a child's mind?
I know exactly
and
what's
heart
going
when
through
they-
there because I've been through it myself as a kid, I remember being so scared when my parents were fighting. One time my dad, he kicked something and he slipped. And, it wasn't, he was just mad and slipped and it freaked me out. And it was so scary. So I can imagine. I can empathize with what they're going through. And honestly, sometimes I do everything I can to avoid it, to avoid any confrontation. Like I'll go somewhere, I'll stay late at work, or I'll go out in my shop in my garage and work. and she comes and finds me because I'm not doing what she expects me to be doing. I'll try to avoid conflict at all costs, but it still doesn't work. She'll find me.
Here's what you're fighting about. You fight about children and parenting. Chris is controlling behavior. Chris is paranoid behavior. Chris is mentally abusive behavior. Chris is verbally abusing Heather's 11-year-old son. Chris is suspecting Heather of cheating. Heather's controlling personality. Heather's lack of respect for Chris. Heather's snide comments. Heather's apathy and indifference toward Chris. Heather's verbal and physical assaults. Heather's allowing the children to disrespect him. I mean, you're fighting about everything, which means these are topics. What are the issues? What is really going on here? I'm going to give you the break to think about this. Next, Heather and Chris almost missed today's in-studio taping because he, at the last minute, decided not to participate in the show. We're going to find out why when we come back.
This morning when we woke up, we were supposed to be getting on a plane to come to the Dr. Phill show. Chris said that he wasn't going.
You just told me you're not going.
He wanted to humiliate me on national television.
He said that I was setting him up, that I was trying to humiliate him, and I was going to paint him to be a monster and lie on national television.
This was never my intention.
If it wasn't your intention, you wouldn't tell him like that.
I didn't tell you anything that I said, and I still refuse to do so.
Your only goal is to try to humiliate me.
That was Chris, whose wife Heather claims he is a crazy stalker for constantly checking on her, smashing a telephone during a verbal tussle, and taking away her computer and cell phone as punishment. You just saw him talking about why he almost did not fly to Los Angeles to appear on the show because he thought she was going to try to humiliate him. She, on the other hand, is the one that threatened to cut his tongue out with a knife, or said she wanted to, hit him with a brick while he's holding the baby, cut his shoelaces out of his shoes, frozen his clothes. I mean, come on, what the hell is going on here? Guys, talk to me here. What's really going on with you?
I'm hurting. I'm hurting a lot. I'd like to feel like I am in control of my life. I'd like to earn my own money and not feel like I have to ask for money. So then I lash out and I am nasty to you because I feel like I'm treated like a child all the time. I want to be equal. I want to be in a partnership with my husband, not feel like I'm below him. I don't know why I'm so angry.
I mean, you take everything I do as a form of control, and all I'm trying to do is keep our heads above water. I mean, financially, I've tried to, trust you with the finances here and there, and you, time and time again, you've nickel and dimed us.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
What did she just tell you?
She's hurting.
And?
I understand, but I don't know how to.
What did she just tell you?
I know she wants it to work. I know she wants.
No, wait a minute. Don't be a hammerhead here. She just said, I don't like being in a parent-child relationship. I don't. I got to feel like I have some control here. I want to be a partner here. I don't like being in a parent-child relationship. Do you get that?
Oh, I fully get it, but it's like
No, there's no but. Do you get that?
Yes,
You don't have to agree with
No,
it. Just do you hear it? You don't have to agree with it. You just have to hear it.
I hear it loud and clear.
You took her computer and cell phone away as punishment. That's like you do with a teenager. Oh, okay, you're grounded. Give me your cell phone and computer. Dad? Does that not sound parental to you?
No, it was a vindictive move. It was out of just,
Does that not sound parental to you?
Yes, it does.
Isn't that what you do with like a teenager?
Yeah.
Oh, you're grounded. No more computer, no more cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
The bank account, all of that. Just come on. Get.
Yeah, but there's got to be a point. I mean, you can't just let somebody rob
Well, you're big on this butt, right?
I'm not trying to, but you want to teach kids responsibility, don't you? I mean, you have to teach them. I can't let her bankrupt us.
Kids' responsibility?
I was using kids as an example.
You're a little misogynistic. And I don't think you mean to be condescending to her or to women in general or the entire female race. She has no access to the phone account, bank accounts. You give her an allowance?
I give her money to.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm the one that makes the money. I have to give her money to do things for around the house.
You're the one that makes the money.
She doesn't work, so she doesn't work to get. She's not doing a job that brings home money.
This would be a good time to stop talking. So you're taking care of the children.
Yes.
So you're taking care of the children. And you've worked before outside the home.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be happy to work outside the home again.
Absolutely.
In fact, you'd like to work outside.
I would like to.
Yeah. And you don't want her to work outside the home.
Oh, if she gets a day job like I do, that's fine. She wants to get a night job to like try to punish me. Why couldn't you get a day? I mean,
Because I can't get a day job, you told me you're not paying for daycare. Therefore, I suggested an evening job so that we don't have a daycare expense. And then you told me, well, then might as well just get divorced.
we're
I won't
never going to see each other. So what's the? If you have the opportunity, if you can get a job and offset the cost of daycare, it's got to be. You have to be able to at least do that. Otherwise, we're actually losing money. So if you want to do it just because you want to get out of the house and have a social life, or that's.
And that's it. You don't want me to have a social life.
Heather, you do whatever the hell you want all day. I'm not saying you go with the kids.
I do whatever I want.
You do. You have a lot of freedom.
Toilets.
You have a lot of freedom.
I like doing it. I like scrubbing toilets and wiping poopy butts. It's awesome.
How many times have you thanked me for, giving you the opportunity to be able to go see your kids, do whatever they want, every event.
And be it with my kids all the time.
Definitely upside to it, right?
Yeah, there is.
But that doesn't mean that she wouldn't like to spend some time with somebody that she doesn't have to cut their meat.
I understand.
Okay, but listen, here's the thing. You understand that these are issues that you negotiate in a relationship. If you do it as partners where you have a willing participants that come to the table to negotiate, where you come up with a plan that both of you can be excited about. Do you agree that you have really bad problem-solving skills in this relationship?
Yes, in this relationship, yes.
Do you agree with that? You're a little misogynistic. Now, I don't think you mean to be condescending to her or to women in general, or the entire female race. I don't think you are trying to do that, although you're doing it. I don't think you mean to be. I really don't. I don't think he is. But I think you guys have just gotten off into a way where you've built up a lot of resentment towards each other. I feel like if you would just call a timeout and really dedicate a period of time to really learn how to reshape this could actually work. I didn't know about that until I met you both. If I arranged for you to have some very focused and concentrated help to redefine this and set up a new plan for your marriage and family, would you participate in that?
Absolutely.
Would you participate in that?
That's all I want, yeah.
I mean, I'll get this started right now.
I can't fix it. I need somebody else.
You'll take that help, right?
Oh, yeah.
This hasn't been too painful, has it?
No.
Why did you laugh when you said that?
I kind of had a feeling something like this was going to happen, but I didn't care as long as I felt like I could
You thought
fix
something
this.
like what was going to happen?
I don't know, get painted to look like a monster.
Well, I thought painted you to look like a monster.
No, but those videos sure did.
You sent the videos.
I didn't send them, she sent them.
That's what you do. That's how we feel.
Yeah, but it's easy to... I wish I'd have videotaped the other side of that conversation.
You didn't have to, because I came behind you after you quit trying to deflect. I came behind you and was very honest about the fact that she was cutting up your clothes and shoes and threatening you and hitting you with a brick. Didn't I tell the truth about her side?
Yes.
This wasn't all you, right? I made out that you were both looking crazy. Right? And now I've said that I think you're both nice people and that we could actually turn this around and save this little family. So it's actually turning out okay, right?
Yes.
And now you have these divorce papers. You want to tear those in half?
Sure.
Thank you. All right, next, a woman who says she still can't resolve fights with her husband even after reaching out to relationship therapists, domestic violence counselors, and their minister. We'll be right back.
That you were doing for him.
Our fights get very intense and heated.
Yelling, blah, 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 blah.
Swearing,
Not
name calling, intimidation,
I don't live here for free. No, I don't. Sure you do. No, I don't, Sam.
threats.
Then we shove
Whatever, Sam.
There are fights and arguments that have been going on for the last 10 years and never been solved.
Well, today we're talking to couples torn apart by under-the-belt and explosive fighting tactics that even involve their children, like this.
We fight because you find reasons to fight. You're confrontational with me from the time I come in the door. It's not your money. We're a couple.
That's fine, but I still earned that money. Oh my God. I earned it and I shared it for you. So get that through your head.
It's not supposed to be this way.
I can drive back and forth to your shop 5 times on less than half a tank of gas.
That's not true.
Okay,
It simply is not true. I can prove it. I have the receipt.
I don't care about you.
I paid for the gas, Sam. Don't tell me what I didn't do.
You know how to talk?
No,
Screaming?
I can't when you're telling lies.
The woman holding the camera and taping the fight you just saw is Carrie, who claims her husband Sam is controlling, physically fights with her children, and calls her names. Take a look.
My husband and I have been married for a year and a half, but we've been living together for about 11 years.
My wife's had 3 children from a previous marriage and we have 1 together.
The biggest problem in our relationship is the constant fighting.
Don't tell me what I didn't do.
We fight 4 to 5 times a week.
Needs are clothes, food, social time with other people. Those are needs.
Our fights get very intense and heated.
Every time you talk about the house, it's not my house, it's your house.
Did you buy this house or did I own this house free and clear before you
Sam,
moved in
that
here?
doesn't matter.
There are fights and arguments that have been going on for the last 10 years and never been solved.
On a scale of 1 to 10, most fights are a 5. But sometimes we definitely hit a 10. Yelling,
Blah, 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 blah.
swearing,
Not
name calling, intimidation.
You live here for free. You live here for free. I don't live here for
In a way
free.
you do.
No, I don't.
Sure you do.
No, I don't, Sam.
Threats.
Then we shove about it.
Whatever, Sam.
I worry that things will get out of control and somebody will get hurt. My husband has called me stupid, a crazy, and a manja cake. Manja cake is a racial slur towards somebody who's just white.
I have called her a terrible mom and a terrible wife at times. My wife has called me a retard, dumbass, idiot, stupid.
I don't believe that we know how to communicate with each other without fighting.
He's tired of hearing it.
And I'm tired of hearing you.
Both of my children that live at home have gotten involved in our fights. I feel really guilty that I've exposed my kids to this.
She tells me I'm supposed to control myself and not argue in front of her, but then she will do the same thing.
It makes me really sad, and I don't know what else to do.
If you were my life manager, like let's say I had a life manager,
All right.
and you managed me into that. That was the existence you managed me into. What kind of review you think I'd give you?
Probably a 0.
I would
1.
fire you before dark.
The reason why things are the way they are is because nobody listens to me. If somebody would listen to me once in a while, we wouldn't be fighting the way we
what?
fight.
Okay, so all everybody has to do is just listen.
Yep.
I
give
have
him all the money,
I have
listen
common
to him.
sense. Okay, I have common sense.
Okay.
Okay, and there's a lot of things that could be avoided.
So you're wise and common sense.
To a point, I'm really stupid when it
Yeah,
comes.
we can see that.
When it comes to
You seem really sage there. You seem really wise. People be drawn to you, come to you for wisdom.
actually, I have a lot of people that come to me for wisdom outside of the household.
Well, if you're so smart, how come you can't get along at home? Because they won't listen?
No, I can't get along with anybody at home because too much has happened, and it doesn't matter what I do or say. I can't change what happened in the past.
Says we can never forget the stuff that he said.
She can't forget what's happened in the past.
Yeah. Why are you doing this?
I get caught up in it. I don't know why.
I gotta tell you, I would seriously, honest to God, I would go sit out in the woods and lean on a tree by myself before I would sit in the middle of all of that.
I'm sure my kids feel like that.
Oh, whoa. I'm sure they would, if there was a mute button on you people, they would hit it the minute they woke up to just get you people to shut up.
Yeah?
Y'all were watching the first couple I was talking to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know she fight about the same things they do?
He was like a mirror image.
Yeah, really, because you're not really fighting about that. Those are just the handy topics.
What are we fighting about?
You tell me. I just met you.
I think trust. I think he doesn't trust me. I feel like he's in competition with my kids. He doesn't seem to understand that you love your kids here and you love your husband here. It's two different things, and he's competing with my kids.
Have you said to her son? I mean, first, have you gone in his room and gotten into a hassle with him? If you pinned him to the bed.
Both of my sons. That was my
I've gone
oldest
into
son.
the room when he's pounding holes in the wall and telling him to stop it.
There was no holes in the wall.
Yeah, there was.
There was not a hole in the wall.
Bed?
Yes.
Have you said he's worthless like his biological
That was the
father?
other.
Bunch of losers. They're not losers. They're both smart kids.
And you allow him to do that to your sons?
I don't know how to stop it. He yelled it. He blurted it
You
out.
don't know how to stop it.
How do you stop
get them
somebody
away
from
from
saying?
somebody that's treating your children that way. That's abusive.
I agree.
But you allow this
I
man to
did.
do that to your children?
18-year-old is not a children anymore.
He was 17 when that happened.
He's still not 17.
And he cried, Sam. He cried. He was so upset he cried to me. And he said, Mom, how come he just doesn't love me enough? Why would he say that to me?
What was your objective in doing that?
I don't get what
This was after the fact that he talked to me and was crying.
Why would you say that to him? What were you hoping to accomplish?
I'm trying to figure out when the situation actually happened. I don't even know what in the situation
You're supposed
what
to
it
be
was.
the parent. You're not supposed to talk to him like that.
I tried to be a parent. It doesn't work that way. It's not that easy.
Because that's not parenting.
He doesn't want me to be his parent.
He did. He was desperate.
You know, it's amazing to me that adults talk about kids as though we have nothing to do with who they turn out to be. It's just astounding. We'll be right back.
There was an incident when my hand and finger were broken by Sam. We were arguing about money. He pulled over in a parking lot to continue to argue. It escalated to a point where I was really upset and scared. I tried to get out of the truck, and he grabbed my hand to pull me back in the truck. And he didn't realize that he squeezed it so hard.
Years ago, we got into an argument, but I do remember she wanted to get out of the car. I grabbed her hand, and I squeezed it tightly. She fractured her finger.
I was really angry with him. It was almost a deal breaker.
Do you agree that what you're doing just day to day at home is ridiculous?
So yeah, it's not working.
It's not getting you any closer to peace and happiness, right?
I agree.
What you're doing, forget about him for a
Yes,
minute.
I agree.
You can't change him.
No.
The
I'm
only
talking
person
about
you
me.
control is you.
Yes.
Is what you're doing getting you any closer to the kind of existence you want?
No.
And the only person that you have any control over is you. The only person you can change is you.
Right, I agree.
What do you need to change to make this situation better?
I think I have to stop accepting a less than life. I think I have to put my kids and myself first.
Okay. And what do you need to do behaviorally to change this?
That I don't know. I honestly don't know how to even take that first step.
Yeah. And what do you need to do to make this situation better?
I need to get some help, which I know I do. I need to be able to calm down.
We both need help.
I have to be able to learn to not yell and argue as much as I do, but be able to, when something goes wrong, I have to be able to walk away and think about what I say before I say it, but I can't do it. I've tried.
Right.
Trust me, I can't do it.
He doesn't think before he speaks. He just blurts it out.
Do it.
Sorry.
If I need some help, you're the first one.
Okay.
We're going to tag team, and you're going to be the first one.
I'm sorry.
That I come to. Let me just start putting some verbs in my sentences here. You have a real impulse control problem, in my view. I think you got a real problem with anger, and I think you're a right fighter. I think you decide what's right, and then once you decide what's right, you're real committed to it, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I think you got a real anger management problem. And you decide that you got the moral high ground, and at that point, it's like the end justifies the means. Once you decide what's right, whatever. You're just self-righteous and sanctimonious, and you're just going to give them hell. Problem is, that just doesn't work. I mean, you can do it, and that makes good copy, but it just doesn't change anything. You know, when you have the same argument 100 days in a row, your arguing isn't seeming to change anything, so you've got to do something different.
I've tried. I don't know how to do it. I will make arrangements for you to learn some things. I will make arrangements for you to learn things, because this isn't working. Let me tell you, a hush will fall over your life. You will go, wow, I got some things to change, and I didn't have to yell and scream my head off to do it. And you deserve that peace. Wouldn't that be nice to have some peace in your life? How would that feel? And if all of a sudden the people that I know you care about started to listen to you because you weren't yelling and screaming. Wouldn't it be nice if you felt like people respected you because instead of yelling at them, you were actually saying something constructive to them? Wouldn't that feel better? Yep.
Because you know you care. You just don't know how to convey it without getting loud.
That's how I was raised.
Well, but sometimes we say in Texas, you got to rise above your raisin. You know, you got to rise above your raisin.
Like a lot of the biggest thing is that we fight over money, and we fight over this, and we fight over that, okay?
Yeah, but instead of fighting over money, you can partner with money.
Yes.
And that means I didn't come to you. You got to learn to partner. And that means that you have to have what's called emotional integrity. So if you make a commitment on money, that you keep your commitment. If you say, okay, let's agree that this is our budget, that you stay with it. You don't say to your partner, yes, we'll do this with X budget, and then you go X plus 2 or 3 or 4. You don't do that. You say what you're going to do, and you do what you say. And then your partner goes, wow, I have a partner I can trust. Next, we're going to talk about how to avoid fighting in front of your children. We'll be right back. You know, we've been talking about what's happening behind closed doors with families, and you know, life is getting more complex. It's changing. The rules are changing because our kids are living in a different world. And I'll say to you couples, if you don't know, I've actually written a book about this that's out right now, and I'm proud to say it's #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. It's called Life Code: New Rules for Winning in the Real World. And I talk in here a lot about family and a lot about parenting. And basically what I say, when the game changes, you need a new rule book. And that's what this book is all about. And it talks about if you want to be a winner in this world, it talks about what you have to do. And I'll be honest with you, this isn't necessarily a politically correct book because it doesn't say here's how things ought to be. It says how things are. And I think success leaves clues. And one of the things I talk about in here is called the Sweet 16, where I talk about 16 things that every success story I've studied since I was 12 years old have in common. And I detail them in this book. And I'm going to talk about those things in real focused way for you two couples. So I want you guys to really look at that. I'm going to give you all copies of this book so you can look at it. I'm very proud of it. It's published by my son Jay's publishing company, so it has been kind of a family project. And so, by the way, everybody in the audience today is going home with a copy of Life Coach. So I'll give everybody a copy. And it talks about parenting in this book and about what you need to do to keep these things private and not be fighting in front of your kids. Thanks for being here today. We'll see you next time. All right, so long. Thanks, guys.
Today on Dr. Phill. He won on Survivor, but now
I've never talked to a guest that was closer to death.
he's losing a battle with alcohol.
Can you walk?
I have to help.
How drunk do you think you are right now?
I had an entire bottle of vodka.
He knows he needs help.
Sandra Diaz is a two-time winner of Survivor.
Sandra!
So grateful that you're here.
It's gonna be okay.
Now, if he won't listen,
the doctor told us that he is weeks, if not days, within dying.
he won't survive.
Do you know what it's going to do to your mother if she has to bury her boy?
Of course I do.
Why are you doing this to yourself? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've heard long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phill.
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
In 5, 4,
This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Go, Dr. Phill.
Hey, guys. How are you? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Todd Herzog was just 22 when he won Survivor China, the 15th season of the hit show. He spent his teen years working towards that win, and he was on top of the world. Just 6 years later, his family says Todd has hit rock bottom. They say Todd has blown through his $1 million winnings, and they often find him so intoxicated that he is passed out, soaked in his own urine. With several visits to the ER and blood alcohol levels as high as 0.582, levels doctors say they had never seen before in someone who wasn't comatose or dead. It's no wonder his family fears that if something doesn't change today, Todd is within days of dying.
He told me, Dad, I would never shoot myself, but he goes, I guess I am killing myself slowly. I am killing myself slowly with the drinking.
This is killing me. This is killing our whole family.
He said, Dad, I'm gonna die. And I just said, Todd, I will not let you die.
He will urinate all over himself in the bed.
I've seen Todd drool, and I've seen him so intoxicated that he can't walk.
I can help you walk if you want to try and walk.
I'm really worried about Todd.
My brother became obsessed with the show Survivor when he was a teenager.
Todd would do Survivor challenges in the backyard.
They had to eat perspired duck eggs and crickets.
They would walk around in the backyard with their torches like they were about to go to tribal council. Todd began submitting audition tapes to Survivor at the age of 20.
When Todd found out that he was chosen for the season 15, he was just so excited. Todd survived the 39 days because he mentally and emotionally prepared himself for it.
When Jeff Probst said the winner of Survivor China is Todd, we all screamed. Todd won $1 million.
Todd was recognized everywhere he went.
I did notice that after Todd won Survivor, that he started to go to these events and people drank at every event and Todd began drinking.
I started to notice that Todd had a problem with alcohol.
He was drinking alone, depressed and bored.
He was at my house and I just heard this horrible banging noise. He had fallen all the way down the stairs.
About a month later, we got a phone call that he had a seizure. Todd was seizing about every 8 minutes. He was put into the ICU for 5 days. Todd's alcohol level was 0.577.
The doctors told us that they had never seen anyone over 500 that was not comatose or dead.
I was so scared. I didn't know if he was going to die.
My parents brought Todd home for a 30-day rehab.
As soon as Todd got out of rehab, he was at a club drinking again.
The last time we were at the hospital, one of the nurses told me that he had never seen a blood alcohol so high. He told me it was 0.582.
Todd said he will never go back to rehab. He would rather just rely on family and himself to get sober.
My son drinks from the minute he wakes up until he goes to bed, and sometimes can go through 2 bottles in 2 to 3 hours.
He will die, and I don't think it's gonna take long.
I feel like I can't save my own son.
It is very ironic that Todd won the show Survivor. I wish that he knew how to survive in life.
Okay, obviously this is a very serious situation. How do you feel watching that synopsis of your son's life?
I've been living it, and when I see it, it just magnifies that we can't fix him. We're scared, and it's gotten at the point where Todd is not Todd. He's not even existing.
What is your greatest fear?
Oh, getting a phone call or having him not answer, and I've knocked at the door for 45 minutes. I've tried to climb up his balcony, and I thought he was dead. It's a normal thing for me when I don't hear from him.
Glenn, you've held him during the night, passing out, seizures, all of these things. What does this do to you as a father?
Oh, it's devastating. It is. He seizures all night and literally have to hold him to keep him from hurting himself. I carry him to the bathroom. I do everything that I possibly can to help him, but I don't know what to do to fix the problem.
How has it gotten this far? I mean, you got to realize that he's at the end here. This is the end stage. Yeah. This is when you die.
Right, right. He moved to Florida, so we didn't see it all, but he would call on occasion, and he would try to mask it, but we could tell he'd been drinking. It wasn't until we got a phone call that he was working one night and he had a seizure, and we realized that he was drinking all the time, and even just to cope in life, he'd have drink after drink, and he had a seizure at work and was rushed to the hospital.
Kimmy, did you know it was this bad?
I didn't know because he was so far away. I knew he was drinking, but I had no idea how bad it was.
Chuck, you wrote the show.
Yes, sir.
Tell me why.
At one point, a doctor told us that he is weeks, if not days, within dying.
When you see someone that has this much alcohol in their system and in their brain, all of their functioning starts to fail. Right. Their ability to function socially, of course, fails. Their organs begin to shut down, and you start to see their grooming, their housing, their clothing, everything begins to deteriorate to the point that it's almost indescribable. Has that happened here?
Absolutely. Even food-wise, you go in, there's nothing in his pantry. You go in, he hasn't done laundry for days. He hasn't shaved, and he's so shaky in between the drinks that he asks people to help him shave.
In February, when we got a call saying that he had had a seizure and that we needed to get him to treatment, Shirley and I flew out about 4 hours later, and when we got to his apartment, it looked as though it was more like an episode of Hoarders. Besides the alcohol bottles everywhere, there was rotting food, there was clothing. You literally had to climb over things to get through the apartment, get through the house. The bathroom was unhealthy.
Could the urgency be any higher?
No.
No.
I mean, you're legally intoxicated at 0.08. 0.08 blood alcohol level. Right. He is 0.582.
Yeah, and he's a little guy. Blood
alcohol level. And you have to understand, there can be no relenting here. We're not talking to Todd here. We're talking to some version of him that is in an impaired state. And there has to be a willingness to do whatever it takes to get him to the medical resources to help him, even if it involves getting a 5150, even if it involves getting an involuntary commitment. We have to understand we have one goal here today, and that is he does not leave here and kill himself. He leaves here and gets some help. Absolutely. And nobody, if you aren't 100% steeled against and to that, you need to excuse yourselves now, because I will drag him if necessary. We do what we have to do. Because listen, yeah. I've never talked to a guest that was closer to death than this one. Oh. I don't know that we can even get him here. He's barely able to stand as we speak. Look, we've got to take a break. Next, knowing that Todd's life was in danger, we sent interventionists Debbie and Brandon to meet with the family and assess the severity of the situation. But what happened during that family meeting, no one was prepared for. Todd's situation was just over the top. And it went from dire to a whole other level of dangerous. Find out what happened when we come back.
When was the last time you had the vodka, the shot?
Like 5 hours ago. Really need some.
Do you have any shakes right now?
I have shakes. My body is shaking.
Todd Herzog was just 22 when he won Survivor China. Now 28, Todd is struggling to survive his severe addiction to alcohol. His family says he drinks at least a half a gallon of vodka every day. So we sent VIP recovery interventionists Debbie and Brandon to Utah to meet with Todd's family and figure out a plan. No one was prepared for what was about to happen when they made that visit to Utah. Take a look.
Hi, how are you doing? I want to get your perspective on what's going on.
We've seen Todd deteriorate. Last night he started hallucinating, saying, I want to leave through that door. No, don't come in that door. And there was no door there.
I've just seen Todd go so downhill that sometimes it feels like I'm dealing with somebody with Alzheimer's. It's been exhausting. He's trying to detox himself because there's a Survivor finale. It's really, really scary to watch him like this.
Does he have a history of seizures?
He's been hospitalized 3 times in the last.
But as far as the seizures, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always so scared I'm gonna find him dead one time. He seems like he's getting closer every day.
And you're right, he is. He is slowly dying.
He's drinking 2 bottles a day, I know that, sometimes 3. He wants to stop, but he's terrified that when he detoxes and has these seizures, that he's going to die. So in his mind, what he does is he keeps drinking so that he doesn't seize.
Hey, how are you? Are you worried about getting another shot of vodka?
Yeah, we did something. I need one really bad.
When was the last time you had the vodka, the shot?
5 hours ago. I really need some.
Do you have any shakes right now?
Of course I have shakes. My body is shaking.
And I'll bring that vodka to you right now, okay? I'm leaving right now.
Okay.
Okay, I love you, Todd. Hey, bye.
I absolutely believe that you need to get over there now and give him that vodka so that he does not go into what we call DTs or delirium tremens. Do you and does the family understand the seriousness if he goes into DTs?
We just think death.
Let's go.
Okay, all right.
We're only a block away from where Todd is. His stepdad and mom are actually going to go into the house, determine how severe the tremors are at this time. One of the things you could do is go ahead and leave your phone on. We'll stay connected once you get there.
You feel better a little bit having that in your system? You're not shaking too bad. How's your stomach feel?
Crab black.
What does that mean?
Black poop could mean that you have some internal bleeding and that it's been bleeding for a while.
This is serious. Body organs are shutting down, and we need to take action immediately.
Well, Debbie and Brandon raced back to the house to get the rest of the family to see if they could get Todd here. Now, time clearly was of the essence.
Just follow our lead. Everything will be good. Let's go. Hey, how you doing?
Hi. Todd, we bought some folks.
Hey, Todd, how you doing? My name is Brandon. Hey, how you doing, bud? This is my mother and business partner, Debbie. Do you mind if we all sit down and have a chat real quick?
Go ahead.
You got a lot of people here that care about you, and we're here because they're all worried. How long ago did you start the detox process?
Yesterday. I am shaky, if you can see. These hands don't stay straight. I've had to have my parents give me small shots to keep me from shaking so that I don't seizure. What is this? Can someone please tell me?
Yeah, we're here to offer you some help. You said yourself, that you're struggling with alcoholism and you're trying to detox. And we've been talking with all of your family, and they're scared to death, and we're here to offer you help. We're here to give you a chance. I'm a recovered drug addict. My mom's also a registered nurse, and she's got some medical issues that she wants to bring to your attention.
Do you have concerns about your health?
Of course.
Okay, what are those concerns?
That I'm gonna kill myself. That's pretty much it.
How?
Drinking.
The shakes. Are they tremors all over your body, or are they isolated to your
They're all
hands?
over my body. And I keep my hands closed like this because they... I've not had an appetite for days and days, and I vomit a lot.
So what happens if you have a seizure and nobody's here to help you?
Then I die.
Exactly. Right on.
What am I gonna do?
You're gonna come with us and accept the help.
And do
we're offering.
what? Like, what is the help?
Well, you know who Dr. Phill is, right?
Of course.
He'd like to meet with you, and he'd like to offer you his help.
Dr. Phill?
Yeah.
Why the would he want to help me?
Dr. Phill sent us here because he heard about your story. He's concerned about you, and he wants to meet with you.
But I want to go on December 15th to what I have to do.
What's December 15th?
The December 15th is the finale of Survivor, because I was obviously on the show, so there's a red carpet, and I was invited by press to stand on the red carpet, and I really want to be there because it's important to me.
We're gonna ask you to pack a bag. The things that you need, we're gonna ask your mom to go with you to get a bag quickly packed, and we're gonna head to the airport.
I feel like I'm dying. And I don't want to. I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt my family. That's why I'm willing to go. Because it hurts
a lot.
Well, there are two empty stools sitting here because the plan was when we came out of that tape, Debbie and Brandon were going to be sitting here to give us an update about what was going on. But as with any serious intervention, particularly one that I believe is on death's door, things change really quickly. Todd is in bad shape upstairs. He cannot stand, he cannot walk. So I asked Debbie and Brandon to go up there to check on him. So we'll see what happens when we come back. Todd was just 22 when he won the reality competition series Survivor China. But now, 6 years later, he is in a life and death struggle to survive his serious addiction to alcohol. In the past few months, Todd's family has taken him to the ER 4 times, where his blood alcohol level has reached as high as 0.582. Now, that's more than 8 times the legal limit, and a level so high that death is considered not possible, but probable. Now, we sent Debbie and Brandon to help get Todd here today because he has agreed to meet with me. Now, before he comes out, I want to play a short video that he recorded just yesterday.
Every single day I have to wake up, wait for the liquor store to open, go buy 2 bottles that are this size right here. And then I have to take 2 shots about this big. It's the only way to stop the shakes. I've had 1 today, but I have to have a second. It's a daily process that I have to do. I feel like crap. I just threw up. I'm shaky and weak. I'm gonna need more in like 15 minutes probably. It's pretty sad. That's for sure.
Well, I'm asked Debbie and Brandon to bring Todd out right now, and that's going to be a bit of a chore, but we'll do what we can here.
Okay, come on. Shoot.
Todd, Dr. Phill.
Hi, I'm Todd. Nice to meet you.
How you feeling, man? Can you walk?
Barely. I have to have help.
All right.
Sorry, I'm very...
That's all right. Brandon, why don't you get over there and take Debbie's spot? All right.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm sorry, I'm crying because I just can't believe this is happening. So.
Turn around. Just come turn around.
1,
okay.
2, 3.
Here we go.
What do you guys have? 9-foot chairs.
Go on up.
There you go. All right.
You're good.
But I'm good. Yeah.
Hey, good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
How you doing,
Good
Bill?
to see you.
So yeah, I'm okay. Because I didn't know this was happening right now.
You're not okay.
No.
You said you're okay, but you're not okay. You're not even almost okay.
No.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, of course I know who you are.
You are here because I wanted to talk to you because, in my opinion, you're killing yourself, man.
I am. Yeah,
You're killing
I
yourself.
am. I know I am.
And I'm wanting to get a sense of how present you are in the moment right now. How drunk do you think you are right now?
Well, today I had an entire bottle, like a liter of vodka,
And because I do usually 2, maybe 3 a day, depending on the day.
Well,
And
I want to get a
so-
fix on you right now so I know what I'm dealing with. This is a breathalyzer.
Okay.
I want you to blow into it really hard for 5 seconds when I tell you,
Okay.
so I can see where you are. All right, take a deep breath and blow. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, thank you. I want to do this because I want to know how impaired you are at this point. I'm hoping this is a low number.
I hope it's way low number than what I've seen in the past.
0.263.
So pretty bad.
At this point, do you have any ability to think clearly?
Yes. I can talk to you clearly. Like, I might sound slurly, but I can tell you the truth about whatever you want to ask.
Well, at 0.25, just so all of you know, all mental, physical, and sensory functions are severely impaired, emotionally and physically numb, and possible loss of consciousness. There's a high risk of asphyxiation from choking on vomit. I mean, and you're actually above that. At 0.3, which is where you're headed, they may suddenly pass out and be difficult to awaken. Tremors, memory loss, drunken stupor, cool body. I mean, why are you doing this to yourself?
I have no idea. I hadn't ever had a drink until I was 22. And so I wasn't even like excited to drink at 21, but
So you started partying.
Yeah.
And so you started drinking and you celebrated. You felt better.
Yeah.
Okay. But now
Exactly.
that's changed. You don't feel better anymore, do you?
No, I feel like crap now, basically.
Tell him what it's going to do to you if you have to stand there and drop dirt on his coffin. Man up and look at her.
It will kill me.
What's going to happen to you if you keep drinking like you're drinking?
I'm gonna die.
And you're drinking a lot.
Yeah, and it's quite disgusting. And to me, it disgusts me because I have to carry the garbage bag out to the dumpster, and it's like cling, 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 cling,
Yeah,
cling.
we'll put it up in the monitors so you can see it without having to move, but I put together a display of what you're drinking. That's
Shoot, sorry.
At the most 90-liter bottles, about 24 gallons of vodka that you consume in a month. That's how much you drink, right? And you say you don't want to go put those in the trash because people think...
Because they hear the clink, 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 clink when I walk out to the dumpster, so I walk out secretly, and I'm like, hopefully they don't hear me, and I throw it into the dumpster. And
because if they don't hear it clinking, then they wouldn't know that you're drunk.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be able to tell from talking to you or looking at you.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it's pretty obvious that you're drunk, and you're drunk now. And here's the bottom line.
Yeah, I'm even drunk now. Yeah.
Do you know what it's going to do to your mother if she has to bury her boy? Tell him what it's going to do to you if you have to stand there and drop dirt on his coffin. Now, here, man up and look at her.
Don't
Look at her.
I'm trying.
Yes,
I
I
feel
know.
what I feel, you know.
You look him in the eye and tell him the truth.
It will kill me. And I will never, ever be able to face another day. I will wonder all the time how I could have changed it, what I could have done. And I would feel hurt. I would be a mess. And you're my boy, you're my firstborn, and you've been my best friend through the years. I don't think I could live after that. I think I deteriorate seeing you die, Todd. I don't even want that to be a thought, but it has been a reoccurring thought for a long time now.
I know.
Do you care about her?
Of course I do.
Look at your father. What is he going to do to him if you have to bury your son? Stand here in front of him, please. Lynn, thank you. Look him in the eye and tell him.
I told you that I am not going to let that happen. And I am not going to let it happen.
Don't say that, because I can't hear that.
Well, I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let you die, and that's why I'm here.
Kimmy, what do you want for your brother? You want him to get his life together? You want him to keep lying to himself? What do you want from him?
I just want my big brother back. I miss being able to have a real conversation with you and being able to hang out with you and go do fun things. Now I invite you out, and there's always an excuse. And you never make it, and I just miss my big brother.
Well, I'll say one thing is I'm so stubborn that I wouldn't be willing to come out here if it wasn't for you to help me and show me what to do and help me with what I have to do. And here I am.
Well, we're going to test that in just a minute. We're going to take a break. When we come back, someone who Todd hasn't seen in a while is going to join us. She understands a part of Todd that no one else can. Find out who she is and what she wants to say to Todd when we come back. Winning the reality competition Survivor is no small feat, especially when you're just 22, as Todd Herzog was 6 years ago when he won Survivor China. Now, for the past few years, however, Todd has hit rock bottom as he struggles with a severe case of alcoholism. His family wrote to me for help as Todd has just refused to turn his life around. He's refused to go to rehab. He has refused to do anything that gets him back on the right path. Now, I want to add somebody to the conversation here right quick. Dr. Ian Smith from the Emmy Award-winning show The Doctors is here today. This is Dr. Smith right on the end down here.
Hey, Todd.
How much danger are we dealing with here with him?
When I saw the numbers of your blood alcohol concentration, I was shocked you're still alive. I mean, those numbers are beyond scope. The volume of alcohol that you're consuming is absolutely destroying your liver. And when Dr. Phill says that you are close to death, I mean, even though you're talking and you're understanding what we're saying, that doesn't reflect what's happening internally. Physiologically, your body is probably 100 years old.
So you understand, there are things you can't see that are going on with him that are important. Okay, now, I would like to introduce someone who wanted to be a part of the show today for Todd. I want to welcome Sandra Diaz. She is a two-time winner of Survivor. Sandra's right here. Sandra, say hello.
Sandra. I love you, Sandra, so much.
It's gonna be okay, all right?
You're the most wonderful person ever.
Oh, you have to pay attention and do the right thing, okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sit back.
Okay, we got him. Sandra, you can go back to your seat. Thank you, Sandra, for being here. Now, Todd actually called you 4 days ago, right? He was crying, saying that rehab is just not working. He was out of money. He was just at the bottom of the barrel. True?
It's true. He called me and I said, Todd, you can come to my house. You don't need any money to come here. I'll help you as best as I can. We'll figure something out. If the treatments weren't working, maybe something, I don't know what I was going to do, but if he needed help, then I said, come to my house.
But he didn't come because, what did he say?
He said he was going to talk to his mom and get back to me. That was his response.
I just loved her because she helped me because she's very, very, very blunt.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
very blunt.
I'm like Blunt's big brother. Okay?
Well, and I can be blunt back.
All right, here's the deal.
Okay, what's the deal?
You don't have the right to do what you're doing.
Right.
You don't have the right to kill yourself. You don't have the right to keep abusing yourself the way you're doing. You don't have the right to break her heart, his heart, her heart. You don't have the right to break your sister Kimmy's heart. You don't have the right to do that. What you have to do is step up and get yourself straight. And the only way you're going to do that is to get yourself into the right kind of treatment program. You have to be willing to do whatever you have to do to get a grip and get yourself under control. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family, and it's something that cannot be put off 1 minute further. You can't just stop drinking.
I agree,
if you stop drinking, you could kill yourself. I do see it.
This is what I do when I get really nervous.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's what I'm doing is I'm listening to you and getting really nervous.
I'm going to let him soak up a little of what I've said. And he has said that he won't go to rehab. He wants to do this on his own. Well, his blood alcohol level today alone is 0.263. So I'm going to tell him what I think about that and what I think he deserves when we get back. We've been talking to 28-year-old Todd Herzog and his family. Now, Todd won Survivor China 6 years ago, and he was on top of the world. Todd and his family say winning Survivor was one of the best things that ever happened to Todd. But now, as he is literally killing himself with alcohol, with ER visits and blood alcohol levels as high as 0.582, Todd's life is literally hanging in the balance. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. Here's what I want you to agree to do. I asked somebody to come here today. It's Steve Thomason. Steve, raise your hand, say hello. This is Steve Thomason right here. He is the director of the Arbor Treatment Center. He's here today because I want him, along with his nurse, to take you from here today to that treatment center to get you not only detoxified, but to also work on every element that you need to deal with that drives this drinking. This is not just a simple situation for you. It's more than just alcohol. What did you ask me?
What day?
Today. Now. Today.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
You go from here with them to there. Steve, what do you want to say?
Just that the Arbor, this is what we do. You know, it's obvious that Todd needs treatment, but so does the family. And one of the things we are so good at is working with the family as well.
I want you leaving here today, and you're going to be gone for a good while. You understand that? I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
How long is a good while?
A good while.
A good while is a long time to me because I got a lot of stuff going on in my life.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You have one thing to do.
I for
and that's
sure
to stay
do.
alive.
Is what I will say.
You have one thing to do, and that's to stay alive and stay healthy. There is no other priority but that one. Nothing else matters but you staying alive and getting yourself healthy.
And I will get myself healthy. I'm glad to be here. Like, I'm very, very proud to be here, to be honest with you.
And I'm going to ask him to look me in the eye and make a commitment that I'll hold him to right after the break. Todd, you and I have been talking, and I want to be very clear. I think you have a really good heart. I think you realize that these people love you unconditionally.
And I'm willing to do whatever I can do to actually make myself okay.
And this is not going to be easy, but
No.
you are capable of doing this.
How long do I have to go?
You're going to be gone for at least 90 days, and probably a lot longer
dog.
than that.
Seriously?
Seriously.
90 days?
And understand that 90 days
And
may
that's
well
over
just be the
Christmas,
beginning.
And
Yeah.
that's over my birthday.
It's over your Christmas, it's over birthday, it's over a lot of things.
Well, shoot dog is all I have to say.
At least you'll be alive for it, Todd.
That's right.
You leave here today, you go there, we get you right, and then you come back out here and tell us how you're doing. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay?
Fair enough.
Deal? I want to thank all of my guests today. A special thanks to Debbie and Brandon of Vital Intervention Professionals, VIP Recovery, for their help in getting Todd here today. You guys didn't have...
These two.
We didn't
They're
give
wonderful.
you... Yeah, we
So
didn't...
thank them.
We didn't...
And Sandra.
We didn't give you guys much chance to say anything here when you were out here today, but it was all about you on tape while you were upstairs, so people heard from these guys plenty. Are they great or what, these two? Let me tell you. Debbie, how glad are you to see him in this stool here?
I am so glad to see you here because you are a day away from death.
How glad do you see him in this stool
I'm
here?
real glad to see you here because you really need this. I mean,
don't make me cry.
Body's shutting down. You want to get this done? Don't worry about part 2. Let's get you to part 3.
All right, also special thanks to Dr. Ian Smith and to Dr. Robert Jackson, Glenn's orthopedic surgeon, who graciously rescheduled Glenn's hip surgery so he could be here today for Todd. So we really thank him as well. And a very, very special thank you to the Arbor Treatment Center for this life-saving opportunity for this deserving young man. For more information on today's show, please go to drphill.com. Thanks for being here so long. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. So good. Appreciate it. Dr. Smith, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you all.